Hello everyone. In this session, we'll be covering the topic journal, which is of third chapter of accountancy. But before understanding the concept of journal, it is essential to understand what accounting process or accounting cycle is. As this topic we have discussed in the previous lecture, let's have a quick revision of these topics. So, accounting process basically starts with transaction. Now, what does transaction means? Transaction means any economic event that take place between two business enterprises. So, in transaction, basically we identify the transaction of financial nature, which can be expressed in terms of money. Now, after identifying the transaction of financial nature, we record these transactions in journal. Now, what is journal? Journal is also known as books of original entry. It is called books of original entry because in journal transactions are recorded for the first time. After identifying the transaction, we record the transaction in journal for the first time. That is why it is known as books of original entry. Now, journal is also divided into subsidiary books. See, in small businesses where the number of transactions is small, then all the transactions are recorded in journal because there are very small number of transactions. So we can record all those transactions in journal. But in big business where there is a large number of transactions, the company subdivide the journal into subsidiary books because all the transactions cannot be recorded in journal. It will create confusion. That is why the company subdivide these journal into subsidiary books. So there are 8 subsidiary books: cash book, purchases book, sales book, purchases return book, sales return book, bills receivable book, bills payable book, and journal proper. So all the transactions related to cash are recorded in cash book, transactions related to purchase recorded in purchases book, sales book. So these are some subsidiary books which is maintained by the large business enterprises. Now, after recording the transaction in journal, these transactions are classified in ledger. These transactions are now classified. Now, what is classification? Classification is the process of grouping the transaction of one nature at one place in separate account. So, in ledger, we open a separate account related to same transaction. So, the ledger is basically a classification. We classify all the transactions which is recorded in journal in ledger. Now, after classification, we summarize all the transaction by preparing trial balance. So, in trial balance, we summarize the classified transaction which is recorded in ledger so that all the summarized transaction can be easily understood by the management or the owners or the third party. Now, with the help of trial balance, the final accounts of the companies are prepared, which is trading and P&L account. Trading account is prepared to ascertain the gross profit of the business, and profit and loss account is prepared to ascertain the net profit of the business, and also balance sheet is also prepared. Balance sheet is prepared to ascertain the financial position of the business. So, this is the accounting cycle which starts with transactions. That means identifying the transaction of financial character, then recording these transactions in journal. Transactions are first of all recorded in journal. After that, we classify the transaction in ledger, and then we summarize these transactions with the help of trial balance, and at last the company prepares the final accounts, which is trading and P&L account and balance sheet, to ascertain the profitability and financial position of the business. So, ledger is in your chapter number 4 and trial balance is in your chapter number 6. So, I will be covering these two topics along with the journal, as these two topics are correlated with journal. So, while recording the transaction in journal, certain rules of debit and credit is to be followed to post the transaction in journal. To know the rules or to understand the rules of debit and credit, it is important to know the types of account. So here are some classification of accounts. As we know, there are 2 types of account. First is personal account, second is impersonal account. Now, impersonal account is further classified into real accounts and nominal account. So basically there are 3 types of account: personal account, real account and nominal account. Now what are personal account? Personal account means any account which is related to an individual, firm, company or any educational institution. पर्सनल अकाउंट क्या है? वो अकाउंट जो किससे रिलेटेड हो, किसी एक इंडिविजुअल या किसी फर्म या कंपनी या किसी भी एक एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट से रिलेटेड. सो एग्जांपल ऑफ पर्सनल अकाउंट कैन बी राम अकाउंट which is an individual account, ABC Limited account which is a company account, Delhi University account which is a educational institution account, capital account of proprietor which indicates the individual's account, drawings account of proprietor, salaries outstanding account, prepaid insurance account. So these are some examples of personal account. Now what are real accounts? Real accounts are basically the assets of the company. Account which is related to the property of the business, and the property of the business is known as assets. Examples of real accounts are cash account, furniture account, machinery account, goodwill account and building account. So all these accounts are the asset of the business. Third account is nominal account. Now nominal accounts are the accounts which includes all the expenses and income of the company. For example, salary paid is an expense for the company, so it is a nominal account. Commission received is an income for the company. Interest received in income. Rent paid is expense. So these are the three types of account, and each account has a certain rule of debit and credit. Now here are the rules of debit and credit for different accounts. Now rule of personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So here we have to debit the account of receiver and credit the account of giver. For example, paid 1000 to Ram. So in this transaction, we have paid 1000 to Ram. Ram is receiving the cash. So we will debit Ram because debit the receiver. According to the rule, we will debit the receiver. And credit the giver. There is an outflow of cash. Cash is going out. So we will credit cash account with the amount 1000 on debit side and 1000 on credit side. Now the rule of real account will be debit what comes in, credit what goes out. That means whatever comes in the business, debit that account, and whatever goes out from the business, we will credit that account. So, for example, if the transaction is purchased furniture for rupees 5000. Now, in this transaction, furniture has been purchased. So, furniture has been brought into the business. So, according to the rule, we will debit furniture as debit what comes in. So, furniture account will be debited and credit what goes out. So, we are purchasing the furniture for cash. So there is an outflow of cash, so we will credit cash account, and the amount on debit side will be 5000, same amount will be on credit side. Now the rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain, which means all the expenses and losses of the company will be debited and all the income and gain of the company will be credited. For example, let's understand this with an example. Paid rent rupees 500. Now in this transaction, rent is an expense for the company, and according to the nominal account, expenses are to be debited. So we will debit rent account with the amount 500 and credit now paid rent in cash. Cash is a real account, and the rule for real account is credit what goes out. So we will credit cash account with the amount 500. Same is the case of income and gain. Example is received interest rupees 1500. Now in this transaction, interest is received. That means it is an income or gain for the company. So we will credit the income according to the rule of nominal account. Now, received interest rupees 1500. We are receiving this interest in the form of cash. Cash is a real account, and the rule for real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So, debit what comes in, cash is coming in the business. Cash account debit, to interest. As interest is again, it will be credited. And the amount will be debited 1500. Same amount will be credited. So after discussing the accounting process or accounting cycle and the rules of debit and credit, it is clear what is journal. Journal is a book in which the transactions are recorded at the first time. That is why it is known as books of original entry. Now there are some few points which is important to know about journal. In journal, each transaction is recorded on daily basis and each transaction is recorded in chronological order. Now here is the format of journal. So in this format there are 5 columns. First column consists of date. Here the date of each transaction will be recorded. Next column is of particulars. In this column the entry of each transaction will be recorded, and in each entry there will be 2 accounts. One account will be debited and the another account will be credited. And after each transaction there will be a narration. Narration will consist of the details of transaction explained, and this explanation is known as narration. So it is very important after passing the entry or after recording the entry, narration will be explained or narration will be mentioned. Third column will be of ledger folio. Ledger folio basically means the page number of ledger book. So in the ledger book we know the transactions which are posted in journal is transferred. So here we will write the page number of ledger. It will be given in the question. Fourth column will be of debit amount. So here the amount of account which is debited is recorded, and in credit amount the amount of account which has been credited will be recorded. So now we will solve the question based on journal. Here is question number 11 of NCERT, page number 92. Now according to the question, first transaction is on December 1, 2017. Business started with cash 75,000. So here we will mention the year. Accounting year is 2017 and entry is on 1st December. Now entry is started business with cash. Started business with cash. See, as we know, proprietor is bringing cash into the business, and we know the business and the businessmen are separate entity, and we record all the transaction from the business point of view. So here proprietor is bringing cash in the business. That means cash is coming in the business. Now cash is a real account, and the rule for the real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So here cash is coming in the business, so we will debit cash account, and proprietor is giving the cash. Proprietor is personal account. Rule for personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. So credit the person who gives the amount. Here proprietor is giving cash, so we will credit proprietor's capital account, and the amount is 75,000 on debit side, and the same amount will be recorded on credit side, and the narration will be cash brought into the business. Now second entry is purchased goods for cash. Second entry is on 7th December. So we will write the date 7th December. Year will be the same. Now entry is purchased goods for cash. See, it is very important to know whenever the goods are purchased, we will not record the entry by goods account. It is always recorded by purchases account, because these goods have been purchased for the purpose of resale. So here purchased goods for cash, there is 2 account affecting. First is purchases account, second is cash account. Now purchases account is an expense, because whenever the company is purchasing something, it is an expense for the company. So purchases account is a nominal account and cash account is a real account. According to the rule, purchases as a nominal account will be debited because it is an expense. So we will debit purchases account. As nominal account rule says, debit all expenses and losses. And cash is a real account, and real account rule is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Now goods have been purchased, that means there is goods coming in the business, but the business is paying cash for purchasing that good. So there is outflow of cash, so we will credit cash account, and the amount is rupees 10,000. So 10,000 will be recorded on debit side, and the same amount will be recorded on credit side. And narration for this transaction will be goods purchased on cash, rupees 10,000. Now the third transaction is, which is on 9th December, and the transaction is goods sold to Swati. Now goods sold to Swati means here in the transaction it is not mentioned whether these goods have been sold for cash. So it is assumed that the goods have been sold to Swati on credit. So here two accounts are affected. First is sales account. Goods have been sold, so sales account is affecting. And second is Swati account. Swati is a personal account. So now same rule applies for sale of good also. If the goods are sold, we will not record that entry with the goods account. We will record that entry with the sales account. So here sales is an income for the company, and Swati is a personal account. Goods have been sold to the Swati, and rule for personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. So here Swati is receiving the goods. So we will debit Swati account as according to the personal account rule, debit the receiver. And sales is an income for the business, and it is a nominal account. According to the nominal account rule, credit all income and gains of the company. So here goods have been sold to the Swati for the amount 5,000. So we will mention this amount on debit and credit side. Narration for this transaction will be goods sold to Swati on credit rupees 5,000. Now fourth transaction is on date 12th December. And the transaction is purchased furniture for rupees 3,000. So here furniture has been purchased for cash. Two accounts have been affected in this transaction. First is furniture account, which is an asset, and second is cash account, which is also an asset. So purchasing the furniture means there is a furniture which is coming in the business, and rule for real account is debit what comes in. So here furniture is coming in the business, we will debit the furniture account, and there is an outflow of cash for purchasing the furniture, credit what goes out. So cash account will be credited as it is an asset and it is a real account, and according to the real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here furniture is coming in the business, and for purchasing the furniture there is an outflow of cash, and the amount for this will be 3,000 on debit side as well as credit side. Now narration for this will be furniture purchased for cash rupees 3,000. Now next entry is on 18th December, and the entry is cash received from Swati in full settlement. Now here cash has been received from Swati. Cash is an asset and it is considered as real account. So the rule for real account is debit what comes in. So cash is coming in the business, so we will debit cash account. Now the amount which we have received from Swati is 4,000, whereas the amount due to Swati was 5,000. So here the company has allowed a discount of rupees 1,000. So discount is a loss, Loss is nominal account, and the rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses. So we will debit discount allowed. Now, we are receiving the cash from Swati. Swati is a personal account. Rule for personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. So Swati is giving cash. So that is why we will credit Swati's account. Swati was supposed to give rupees 5,000, but Swati has given only 4,000 rupees, and the company has agreed to receive only 4,000 in place of 5,000. So actual cash received from Swati is 4,000. So there is a loss for the company of 1,000. Now the total amount is rupees 5,000. This amount will be recorded on credit side. Narration for this entry will be cash received from Swati, rupees 4,000, and discount allowed rupees 1,000. Now next entry is on 25th December, and the entry is paid rent 1,000. Now company is paying rent, that means rent is an expense for the company. Expense is a nominal account. Rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses. So we will debit rent account, as rent is an expense for the company and the company is paying the rent in the form of cash. Cash is a real account. So there is outflow of cash for paying the rent. Cash is a real account. Rule for real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So there is outflow of cash. We will credit cash account, and the amount is rupees 1,000. Narration for this entry will be paid rent rupees 1,000. Now the last entry is on 30th December. And the entry is paid salary. Now salary here is also an expense for the business, as the company is paying salary to employees, so it is an expense for the business, and expenses a nominal account. Rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses. So we will debit salary account. Now salary has been paid in the form of cash. Cash is a real account. Rule for real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So by paying salary, there is outflow of cash. So we will credit cash account, and the amount is 1,500 on debit side and 1,500 on credit side. And narration for this entry will be salary paid rupees 1,500. So this is how we will record the entries in the journal. In the next session, we will learn how to post the entries from journal to ledger and from ledger to trial balance. So that's all for today's session. Thank you.